Hello and welcome boys and girls. So by the time I uploaded my previous video, the update already shipped out to Steam, and as expected there was more than just balance changes. There was spaghetti. Lots and lots of spaghetti. And new maps too, but spaghetti was definitely the highlight of 4.9 for me. That's the reason why for these games that you'll notice it's gonna be all private battles, because the biggest victim to spaghetti code was the tournaments, where spaghetti made them flat out just not work. If you were there for the stream you'll know I spent a good 30 minutes waiting around for my opponent and the whole time not getting a single match in, but thankfully private battles were still working for the most part so the stream was not completely a wash. So yeah, the second biggest news of the update is this brand new map you're seeing, and it's called Riverside. And here are some games on it. There's also 2 other maps added, but we won't be showing those because I'd rather focus on one specific thing rather than multiple things at once. Let's just begin with a rundown of the easiest map on this update. It's a pretty damn long map, but if you're not bringing along water towers then you're gonna have a tough time finding a good place to fit certain towers. For example, I'm going the good old Cobra Mortar Bomb on this first match, and this probably isn't the best map for such a loadout, because the best places where you would put down Cobras is also the best place you would put down a bomb tower. Not much land to work with when the middle section is completely blocked off. At least the mortar spots on this map are pretty dang though. A big explosions mortar will be able to catch the entire bend and then some when the balloons come looping around again. Somebody mentioned this was basically a 3 times around map, and I agree except for the fact that it only loops around 1 time. Any more than that and you got a Battle Park 2.0. Anyways, despite the tiny boat nerf I think this is a perfect map to bring them on. It's probably the most efficient choice for the early and mid-game. Pair it with farm and a tower that's good for late game, and you are pretty much set. You'll see me using the boat in subsequent matches, but for now I must kill my boat using opponent first before moving on. But as I was saying, the boat nerf was pretty tiny, so it really shouldn't change anything other than losing a negligible amount of eco. Just treat it like the base cost buff from the previous patch was reverted while still retaining that insane destroyer buff, which is most of the reason why boats are used so much at the moment. Cheap and fast strong balloon popping power goes a long way. And you know what else goes a long way? Pretty much every balloon spawning over on Philip's side. That BFB plus balloon adjustment is going to be too much for him to handle since he's got no money without selling the factory. He did end up selling the factory, but it was too late by then, and before anyone argues me sending out a BFB versus a boat whose ability can easily be used to one-shot those blips. Most situations you obviously don't want to do that, but there's some cases where sending one is good because you'll force them to sell other towers/farms in order to afford the monkey pirate, and well, that leaves them vulnerable to all the little guys. You know what they say, you'd much rather face 1 horse-sized duck than 100 duck-sized horses. Alrighty, as I mentioned earlier we are now switching over to an interesting boat strategy. Take a look at this loadout, which may surprisingly work pretty well on maps like these. Farm, boat, and bomb. With a pretty sizable buff to the Moab Assassin ability, it very well may be properly equipped to handle the late game now relative to other towers such as Ace, Ninja, Heli Pilot, and Glue. And it almost certainly beats the late game prowess of both the Wizard and the Boomerang, both of which were common partner loadouts when paired with the boat and farm. Look no further though, make room cause Player 3 has joined the party. The update literally just came out a few days ago so I shouldn't jump to conclusions so quick however, but given the proper map this loadout certainly looks promising. Just don't put too much stock into these stream games cause as you know my skill level drops about 36% when I have to concentrate on playing the game, reading the chat and moisturizing my left index finger all at once. Then the opponent I get is hit or miss, this one kind of being in the middle. It looks like my opponent is just slightly ahead of me on farms, but my near 600 eco almost certainly trumps him, so we're in a pretty good position money and lives-wise. So yeah, let me just take a brief moment to talk about streams. If you missed this one, either you live in Europe or you don't have notifications on, so make sure to smash that bell/notification button so that you get the chance to be the first to show up to my streams, and also the first to show up and comment on my videos, as we all know that first comment is always the most elusive and treasured. /endplug, and also /endgame, cause one BFB is all it takes to take down Hando and his army of Razor Rotor heli-pilots. While heli-pilot is a pretty darn good tower, one of its major weaknesses is when round 20 hits, cause you're almost certainly going to need to build an Apache unless you have a good third support tower. I never got to see that guy's third tower in the previous game, so his weird decision to do nothing will remain quite the mystery. Anyways, here's another game using the same loadout. I got Dart as my fourth, which is alright but not really necessary cause it kind of does what the bomb and boat can already do. Oh well, at least there are some pretty good spike opal placements over here on Riverside. Those long-ass straight lines are almost begging for the Dart monkey to be picked. At this point I think I'm going to take a break talking about Bloons and strategy cause too much of it is no good. It almost makes me want to drink milk from a bag. Oh wait. Now here's question 1. What's my rank in League? Hooray, a League question. I love answering those cause League is a pretty dope game that I'm not burned out of yet cause I'm not obligated to play it a lot for YouTube videos. In fact, I've hardly played this pre-season and the current season. Anyways, I've finished the last 3 seasons in Diamond 5, each time stopping ranked play whenever I promote it to Diamond because personally I don't see a point in trying to progress further. I know the gap between low and high Diamond is too much that I'd have to start spending an unhealthy amount of time learning to improve if I wanted to climb. And at the end of the day getting a high league rank won't help me with anything in life other than having a higher chance of picking up elo diggers, but I'll pass on those thoughts for real women who like me for more than just my league rank. Do I think Blazit will ever finish his game, and what happened to Vanok? To answer the first one, probably not. I haven't asked him personally about it but I'm pretty sure he's stopped working on it for a while already. He hasn't talked about / promoted the game on his channel for like over a year, so chances are it's never gonna see the light of day, ever. On top of that, he recently nuked his Discord server for whatever reason, so that pretty much seals any doubt regarding the situation. As for whatever happened to Vanok, it's pretty simple. He got bored of Bloons and modding, so he stopped uploading Bloons videos. Pretty sure he's still active on his secondary tech channel though. He probably doesn't really care about views too much and rather is uploading what he likes instead. Which I get. With all those fancy gadgets he features, it looks like money is not a problem for him. Or maybe he is just waiting for BTD 6, which honestly isn't a bad idea cause ain't nobody getting jack shit at this time of the year. Have I ever played BTD 1 to 4? This shouldn't even be a question if you know me well. I've played every possible thing Bloons related in existence that you could think of. That's all there is to that question, but I'm going to expand a little further cause I feel like it. BTD 2 was the first game I started with in case you were wondering, and if I remember correctly I discovered it on a flash gaming site called Y8. Not sure how many of you were familiar with that site considering a lot of those OG flash game sites are no longer relevant to children since mobile apps exist now. Feels bad, but that was the shit back in the day when it came to discovering random games. That's all the questions I'm able to fit into this time slot. Stay tuned till the next one and I'll answer the remainder that's on my bucket list. Now back to the game versus Mario, the fake Mario, just in case you were thinking it was somebody else. We've reached critical mass and that means it's time to unload all these ZOMGs over to my opponent's side, but he comes right back at it with a horde of blimps sent at me. It should be interesting to see how well the boat and bomb can fare against the rush. However, keep in mind I was being a complete idiot here and wasn't selling my factories for more defense. I don't know why, something tells me I need a lot more practice in these late game situations, but let me just say the conclusion for this one is going to be real close. Let me just roll the credits now. Thanks for watching and making it to the end, and leave some comments below on what new strategies you've been trying out, and tell me if it's been working or not. But yeah, holy Batman, was that game close. I 100% deserved to lose that game due to my awful play, but I guess Mario's dart and ace weren't enough to hold off for another 1 second, which was all he needed to seal the win. Have a #lucky day.